Hi everyone, this is Hannah. In today's video, we are going to build something practical, a sales and profit dashboard in Excel using sample Superstore dataset. So let's see what we are going to build. This is the dashboard that we are going to create. We have the Superstore sales and profit performance dashboard. We have here a description, and also here we have our overview, which are KPIs, total sales, total profit, total orders, number of customers, and profit margin. We have also some charts here: sales over time, sales by category, profits by category, sales by region, profits by region. Here we have top 10 customers by sales performance, and also if we choose this bottom 10, it will change the chart. And now we can see the bottom 10 customers by sales performance. And here at the right side, we have a table. In this table, we have the subcategory sales, profit, and also profit margin. So at the end here, we have the filters. We can filter by category and we can filter by segment. So whatever we choose here, it will change all of the charts, related charts, and it will show us exactly the data that we want. Like you can see, these are the filters that we can use. We can clear the filters and show all of our data. Now let's look at the dataset. This is the simple Superstore dataset. We have order dates, we have customers, products, categories, regions, sales, profit. So basically everything that we need to understand performance. Before starting to build our dashboard, I checked for missing values. I made sure that the dates were formatted correctly, and also I have confirmed that the sales and profits are numeric because data types are very important. If data types are wrong, then pivot tables will not behave the way that we expect, and that's when things becomes very frustrating later. So let's start creating the dashboard. So for that, we have 3 sheets. As you can see, we have data, which we have our data in it. We have working sheet. In this sheet, we will create our pivot tables, our charts, and our slicers, and then we will use these pivot tables, charts, and slicers in our dashboard sheet. Okay, so first of all, we have to create a pivot table. So for that, our data should be in the table format. Then we will go to the insert, pivot table, and here we have to choose the location of it, existing worksheet. Then the location should be working sheet. And also, make sure to check this option, add this data to data model, because it will allow you to use the distinct count option later in your pivot tables. Okay, so check this and click on OK. Now in the pivot table here, what we can do is, first of all, we have to create our overview part, which is the KPIs. We have the sum of sales. We have to add profit. We have to add the count of order ID. We have to add the distinct count of customer name or customer ID. We can use both of them. So here, let's change this in the value field settings to distinct count. Click on OK. And also we have to find out the profit margin. So equal sign profit divided by sum of sales. And then we will change this to percentage. This is the profit margin. Okay. Profit margin. Now, let's leave this pivot table as it is and create our other pivot tables that we will need. So for that, we don't have to go and create our pivot table again from scratch. We can just copy this and paste it here. So let's change the values of it. We have order date here. We will use order date. And then in this breakdown, we only need year of it. So we will choose this one and get rid of other ones. Okay. So now that we have year, we will find sales and add it in the values. So we have to go to the design tab, and here in the grand totals, let's choose off for rows and columns, the grand total of it. Now let's copy this pivot table and paste it here. And again, let's change the value of it. And this time, instead of year, we need the category. So let's get rid of year, and we have the category here. Now this is the sum of sales for the category. We need sum of profits also. So let's change the sum of sales into the profits. Okay, now one other pivot table that we need is the subcategory. Let's copy and paste it again. And here, instead of category, this time we need the subcategory. And let's get rid of this category. And also we need the sum of sales here. So let's add the sum of sales here like this. We have the subcategory, then we have the sum of sales, then we have the sum of profits. This pivot table is specific for the table that we will create. And in that table, if you remember, we had profit margin also, so we will calculate that later. So now that we have created our pivot tables, these are all the pivot tables that we will use in our dashboard, okay? But because we cannot use directly these pivot tables and charts in our dashboards, that's why we have to use the method of referencing. So how we can do this? Simply equal sign and reference the cell with the value. Again, equal sign, reference the cell with the value. Just like this, okay? Now let's format these values. We will add a comma and also decrease the decimal points. Now, as you can see, we have our KPIs. So this one is the sum of sales. We have sum of profits. So just like this. Same as this, we have to reference all of these pivot tables and simply write down equal sign, then reference that value. Okay, like this, and then we can format these values because we will use these values in our dashboards like this. So I will fast forward the video so it doesn't take a long time, but the process is the same. Okay, now that we have referenced all of our cells, let's change the format of these values. We will have to use format printer here like this. Okay, now that the formatting is also good, let's add the name of each column above it so it doesn't mix up. Okay, as you can see, we have created our pivot tables and also we have referenced these cells to the cell values that we have in our pivot tables in order to use these values later in our charts and then use those charts in our dashboard. So basically, we are almost done with the pivot table part. Now that our numbers are reading, let's turn them into visuals and charts because dashboards should not just show data or numbers. They should tell a story, and that is only possible when we use some visuals and charts. Okay, so first of all, we have to create our map chart. So for that, we will need to select this data here, go to the Insert tab, and recommended charts. Go to the All Charts. Here we have to click on Line, then click on OK. Okay, so here we have our chart. Let's format it, and for that, let's go to the chart design here. First, let's use these quick layouts from this part and see which one we need. Okay, so I think this one is the one we will use. Click on this one. Here we will delete this legend, we don't need it, and then double click on this chart so we can have the format page. First of all, let's change the name of it, sales over time. Let's change the position of this title into the here, and now let's change the format of this line. Okay, so basically the color of it is my theme because that's the theme that I am using. You can change the color of it and you can use any color that you want. Let's go to the markers here, add to marker options, built in, and let's choose this one. From here, increase the size of it a little bit, and also change the color of it to orange. This one is for the border. For the fill, also change the color of it to orange. For the data labels, here you can see we can change the format from the home, increase the size of it a little bit, and also make sure that you click on bold option from here. And one other thing that we can use is to choose the position of these data labels. Go to the label options here, And then series part here, let's go to the label position. Here you can change the position of it and choose whatever you think will look the best. I think blue will be the best one for this. And also we can change the format of this x-axis. Let's go and increase the size of it and also bold it. Okay, now you can see that we have created our line chart like this. Perfect, that already looks much more insightful than just numbers. So let's leave it the way it is for now in here and create other charts. So for the category and sales, we want to create a bar chart. So let's go to the insert tab, recommended chart, other charts, create a bar chart. So I will format this one chart for you and then we'll show you how you can use the same theme that you are using again and again by simply saving it as a template, okay? So let's format this chart. First of all, let's get rid of these lines, vertical lines. We will delete this and also we can delete this x-axis values because we don't need it since we will use data labels directly in each bar. And so for that, let's go and add chart element. Here we have the data labels and we will use outside and okay. So let's bold these labels and change the name of it, sales by category. And also change the position of the title to here. One other thing that you have to do is to increase the width of these bars. So for that, let's go to the series here and decrease the gap width. I think 80% will look good, like this. And also let's change the color of it to this one. I use my own theme. Click on OK. Okay, you can use your own theme. And now that we have our chart, let's save it as a template. Save as template and give it a name. My template. Then save it, and then we can use the same template for other charts. Let's decrease the size of this chart and create a chart for this data. Go to the insert, recommended chart, and the other charts here we can use the templates instead of using the bar here. Now you will use the template. Let's go and my template here. Click on OK, and you can see that this is the same design as we had created in this chart, like this. Okay, let's rename it profits by category, like this. Okay, now this pivot table that we have here, we have to create a table for that. Okay, so we will skip this for now. Let's go to the other charts and create the charts for these. Okay, so now you can see that I have created our charts: sales over time, sales by category, profits by category, sales by region, profits by region, and also top 10 customers by sales performance. That in a little bit we will change this and make it dynamic, so we can choose bottom 10 customers by sales performance or top 10 customers by sales performance. Whatever that we want, we can choose it. Now comes the exciting part, bringing everything together into one clean dashboard. To create a dashboard, let's get rid of these grid lines first of all. So let's go to the view tab here and turn off the grid line option from here. Now, first of all, let's go and add our logo image here. For that, let's go to the insert tab here in the pictures, this device, insert pictures from this device. So you can go ahead and find your logo or whatever image that you want to add from your device. So that's my logo that I have added. Let's resize it and make it smaller. Okay. Now, after that, we have to add the title of our dashboard and the description of our dashboard. So for that, let's go to the Insert tab, Shapes. Here we will add a text box and add the name of the dashboard. Okay, that's good. And now let's add another text box for the description. And again, let's add the description for our dashboard. Okay, so now that we have our logo, our dashboard title, and our dashboard description, let's add the KPIs. So for that, we have to insert a shape. Go to the Insert in the Shapes, and this time choose a rectangular like this. Okay, and change the color of the shape. Let's choose this one. Okay, and also let's add a little bit of shadow. In the shape effects, go to the shadow here, like this. Also, you can see that we have a border in this shape, so let's change the color of it also. In the shape format, go to the shape outline and change the color of that also, like this. Okay, one other thing that we can do is to add text box in it, like this, and give it the name of the KPI. So what is the name of the first KPI? It is total sales. And format this text box also. So for that, we will choose alignment to the center, and also we will go to the shape format. In the shape fill, we will choose no fill, and also for the border, we will see no border, no outline, like this. And also the color of it should be white. So go to the home and change the color of the text to white. One other thing that you have to do is to group this text box with this rectangular shape. Here you can see group. Now that's much better. Control C and Control V. We will need 5 of these shapes. Also, let's align it. So we will select all of these shapes. Go to the shape format, align, and distribute horizontally. And also align in the middle. Okay, now you can see that that's much better. And one other thing that we have to do is to change the title of these KPIs. So this one should be total profit. Okay, then what we have to do is to reference all of these cards, all of these shapes with the values that we have in our working sheet in here. Okay, we have sales, profits, total orders, number of customers, and profit margin in here. So how we can do this? Click on the shape, then go in here and write equal sign, then go to the working sheet and click on the sales value in here and enter. Now you can see that we have the value in here. So what we can do is to go and change the position of this value. We want it to be center, and also we want it to be in the bottom of the shape, and change the color of it to the white and also bold it. We can make it a little bit larger also, like this. You see? That is much better, okay? Now we have to do the same for these other shapes, okay? As you can see that we have created our cards here for our KPIs. We have total sales, total profits, total orders, number of customers, and also profit margin. Now let's go and add our charts from the working sheet. So we have sales over time. Select the chart, use Control X to cut it, and in the dashboard, Control V to paste it. Now you can add it here, change the size of it, and also let's go to the format and the shape effects. Let's add a little bit of shadow to it. Okay, now that's good. Okay, the same process goes to all of the charts. You have to go and cut the charts from this sheet and paste it in the dashboard. So we have sales by category, like this, and also go to the format, shape effect, shadow, and add a little bit of shadow, just like this. We have to add all of the charts into our dashboard. Okay, that's good. Now that we have added all of our charts and formatted the way that we want, let's go and add our table. So for that, I have created the table manually. So how I did this, write down the name of the columns, set category. Then we have sales. Then we have the profit. And then we have profit margin. Like this. Okay. Let's copy it and paste it in here. One column to the right side. And then we have to do what? We have to use the reference method again. Equal sign, go to the worksheet. And here we have the accessories in here, okay? So click on this cell and then enter. Copy this and paste it until the end of this. And we have to do the same for the sales and for the profits. Let's format these values, add a comma, and also decrease the decimal points. For the profit margin, we have to write down formula equal sign profit divided by sales. Hit the enter key. Now change this to percentage. Okay, that's good. Now also let's format this header of the table. Change the color of it. This color, also make it bold. And also let's add these three in the middle. Okay, that's good. So one other thing that we can do is to custom format these values to make sure that we know where we have profit and where we don't have any profit with the color coding. So how we can do this, go to the numbers here, click on this drop down and more number formats. Here in the custom, we can add our custom formatting. So this is the custom formatting that we have to add for this column. 0.0%, then a semicolon. This part shows our positive value. Then, and after semicolon, we have to format our negative value. So the negative number will be in the red color and also it will be in between parentheses. So instead of a minus sign, we will have parentheses and then percentage. Click on OK. Now you can see that we have formatted it. Also, let's make it bold like this. So now that is good, okay? You see, a dashboard without interactivity is just like a static report. So that's why we have to make this dynamic. So what other thing we can do is to add our slicers in our dashboard. So for that, let's go to the working sheet. Here we have pivot tables, right? Let's create a slicer for one of these pivot tables. Go to the Insert tab here, add a slicer from here. So what slicer we need? We need a slicer for the category and also a slicer for the segment. Here we have segment. Then click on OK. Again, let's cut these slicers and paste it in our dashboard. Now that we have added our slicers, let's format it. So for that, let's go to the slicer tab here and then go to the drop down here for the slicer style and then click new slicer style. So these are the options that we can format based on our own choices. So let's go and here for the selected items with data, format it. And the font, let's make it bold. And the border of it, let's add border like this. You can add top border like outline here. We'll choose outline. Then for the fill, let's choose the color of this. Yeah. This one is good. Then click on OK and OK. Now we have to choose this style that we have created from here to apply it in our slicer. For this slicer also, choose this style and then change the number of columns from here to 3. So we can have 3 but done like this. And also one other thing that we can do is to change the name of it from here, slicer caption to from category to filter by category. Like this. Add it here on top of this. And also let's do the same for the other slicer. Okay, now that we have our slicers in place, what we have to do is to connect this slicer to the charts and to the pivot tables that we want to filter by it. Okay, so let's go to the slicer tab here in the report connection here. You can see that we have here our pivot tables, like this pivot table 10, 11, 12, that we don't know which table it is talking about. Okay, so what we can do is to go in the working sheet and rename all of our pivot tables, which we have to done in the first place. But anyways, now we can do this. Go to the working sheet here and change the name of these pivot tables. So first of all, let's go to the pivot table analyze, and here pivot table name, let's change it to highlight. So we know that this is the KPIs. Then let's change this one to trend. Then we have category, sales by category. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to dashboard, and here we have our slicer. Go to slicer tab, then report connection. Then here we can choose whatever table that we want to be filtered by this slicer. So what I want is to filter highlight, customers, trend, and also subcategory table. And I don't want sales category, sales profit category, profit region, and sales region tables to be filtered by this category. Okay, so these are the only 4 things that I want to be filtered with this slicer. Click on OK. Now we have to do the same for the filter by segment. And go to the slicer tab here in the report connection. Again, we have to choose whatever that we want to be filtered by this slicer. So for this, I want to be able to filter all of these charts and tables. So click on OK. Now let's test it. When I click on furniture, you can see that the highlights or KPIs have changed, the sales over time have changed, and also the table and also the top 10 customers have changed. Let's clear the filter. You can see the changes. For the filters by segment slicer, when I click on corporate, you can see that all of the visualizations that we have in our dashboard will change like this. Okay, so again, clear the filter from here. Now, one thing that if you have noticed, when I click on a category, for example, you can see that we have some errors in here, some zeros and some null values in here that we don't want. So why it is happening like this and how we can fix it? While office supplies here is selected, when we go on the working sheet here, you see that here we have our subcategory table, right? Here we have the subcategory. These are all the formulas that we have used for the reference, right? Now that we have filtered our data, we don't have values in here. So what it does, it will return as 0 or null. Okay, so that's why we have these errors and these null values in here. Now this is something very important. Real dashboards always need some small refinements. So let's clean this up so it looks professional. So to solve this problem, what we can do is to modify our formula in here a little bit. Click on the first item here, go to the formula in here. We will use an F function here, equal sign F. For the logical test, we want to say that if our working sheet D3 is equal to 0, then it should return nothing. Otherwise, if it is not 0, then it should return back to us the value itself. Control C and Control V. Close the brackets and hit the Enter key. Now, when I copy and paste this formula here, you can see all of these zeros are gone. Because of what? Because we said in the formula that if we have 0, then return nothing. So now it returns nothing to us. Same, we have to do this for our other values in here. Copy and paste it here and like this. Okay. Okay, let's change the formatting again. And also, oops, I have misspelled this. Let's fix this also. Sales. Like this. Now for the profit margin, how we can fix this one? Let's go to the formula here. Again, we will use the F function. F this cell here is equals to nothing, then it should return nothing. Otherwise, it should return our formula, which is the division of profit by sales. Let's close the brackets and hit the enter key. Now let's copy this formula until the bottom of it. Okay, that's good. Now when we change the filters like this, you can see that we have no error. And also let's add the title of it. Here we will add the text box and same set category by sales performance. And also let's go to the shape format, shape outline, and make it no outline like this. Now that the table is finished, we have one more thing to do, and that is to be able to add radio buttons here so we can change this chart from top 10 customers by sales performance to bottom 10 customers by sales performance. So how we can do this? Go to the developer tab here. If you don't have a developer tab here, you can add it from here. In the files, go to the options. Then here we have the customize ribbon. And here we have developer. Click on this developer and then click on OK. Then you will have this developer tab in here. So go to the insert and here we have radio button. We will add 2 radio buttons. Let's change the text of it, top 10. And also let's add another one, bottom 10, like this, okay? Now what we have to do is to click on this top 10, right click on it, go to the format control, and here we have to link it to a cell. Go to the working sheet. So here we have our customers, let's link it here, and then click on OK. Then we have to use a formula in our customer name here. So what is the formula? We will use this formula in here. We will use switch formula. In the switch formula, we will write them like this. We will reference this cell, which we added as a reference for the radio buttons, right? Reference this, and we say if it is 1, then it will sort this range, which is our pivot table, and sort it by the sort index, which is 2, column 2, which is performance of sales, right? And the sort order is -1, which means descending. But if our value is 2 in here, then it will sort the same range, which is this pivot table, but this time it will sort it in ascending order. Here we have added 1, which means ascending order, okay? So that's the formula that we will use in our table here. So that's it. Now if we change it to 2, you can see that it will automatically change the values in here and show the sales in ascending order. So let's go to the dashboard here. Now top 10 and bottom 10 works. When we click on top 10, what it does, it will change the value here to 1. Once the value is changed here, it will change the sort order in here, and now it will be in descending order. So again, let's go to dashboard, click on the bottom 10. Now you can see that it changed again the values in here. Now one other thing that we should consider is the title of our chart, which is top 10 customers by sales performance. Now that we have selected bottom 10, this title will be wrong, right? So how we can fix this one? We can also use the same buttons for the title. So how we can do this? Go to the working sheet. Here we will add the title. We will use the same formula for it. So with the help of using the same formula, which is switch, we can see that if our cell value of this one is 1, then we have to get top. But if the value is 2, then we have to get bottom. Then hit the enter key. Now you can see that this is bottom. When we change the value to 1, we will get to top. Now to write down our title of the chart, we have to use concatenate function. So this is the concatenate function that we will use. We will concatenate this first cell value here top. Then we will concatenate it with 10 customers by sales performance. Then hit the enter key. Now you can see that we have top 10 customers by sales performance. Change the value to 2, and we have bottom 10 customers by sales performance. Now the last thing that we have to do is to go and reference this title. Let's remove this one. Here we will write down equal sign, go to the working sheet and reference this up. Hit the enter key like this. Now we have our bottom 10 customers by sales performance. When we click on top 10, we have top 10 customers by sales performance. Also the chart changes, the title of it changes, everything changes. So that's it. I think we are finished. And just like that, we have built a fully interactive sales dashboard from scratch using pivot tables, charts, slicers, and a little bit of logic. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more data analytics projects like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.